So I guess first up, this feels weird. I just like, I'm used to filming myself, so it's kind of a little bit odd that I got a camera guy going on here. But we're in Las Vegas. We are sitting waiting at a gate. I think we're at B17. I'm not gonna tell you guys who we're waiting for yet. Maybe that's a little bit of a surprise. But we got in early, me and my boy Grant. We're gonna be kind of doing a bunch of things today. We're also going to take you along to Salt Lake City tomorrow. And then we'll be back in Houston. But we got a big day today and a big day tomorrow. So I think there'll be a bunch of exciting stuff going on.
Where we going, Josh?
We're gonna go work out. Not with the guys though, because one's a ex Mr. Olympia, and Brent obviously has got enough of veins for, I think, anybody. So I'm gonna probably back out of working out from those guys. But hey,
do some stretching.
Yeah,
stretching in the corner, I'll be like,
right, right.
A lot of palms, different kind of palms.
Palms in your vlog?
Yeah, I love palms. I don't, it's like one of those things, I don't know, for me it signifies like vacation, signifies warmth.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's why I like Houston.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's got a lot of palms is there too.
That's right. Channel, you're in a dragon. All right, Josh, so where are we exactly?
We're in the world-renowned Dragon Slayer, which is owned by Flex Lewis, which was, I don't know how many times of a Mr. Olympia he was, but a lot of times. He was pretty much the best of the best. And I think the 212, 202, I don't know what they consider. I'm not a bodybuilding guy, but I know that he's done a lot of good things. So we're at his gym, which is amazing. It's an amazing gym. It's fully stocked with Arsenal equipment, so top-of-the-line stuff. But overall, I mean, this has been a great experience. I want to thank him for his hospitality, for letting us kind of pop in and check it out, because I'm definitely no bodybuilder or anybody that is somebody that should be getting into these types of gyms, but I am honored that I was able to lay some sweat where a lot of probably champions have laid sweat, so. I haven't tried it. That's why I want to try it.
It's gotta be
Iced.
I think it's a cool
Yep.
idea though.
Yeah, it is.
It brings different people.
I think like,
Can I smell
I think we
it?
have a long time
So
ago.
strong.
You were in Miami? Correct, yeah.
A live taste test review.
Is this like my first ever review for my side channel?
Yeah, side channel's coming soon. Comment below if you want to see Josh review food, drinks, snacks, candy, all of it.
It's nice. That's the quality content you're gonna get on my side channel. It's nice.
It's nice.
Ends up getting moved to Nashville, so
It was a wild 30 years.
Ryan really wanted to be back in like a city. I don't know if Nashville would have qualified for him.
I don't get it.
I don't really get the concept, but let's.
Okay, nobody
He goes, I trust you, Dan. Let's do this thing.
I liked the people. I didn't
Yeah, he's like,
because they were.
I like the idea. He goes, I don't really get the
But
concept.
how far ahead were you guys? It was like 4 to 5 years where everybody was. So like for me, it was like a whole like what? Huh? These influencers? This? Like what?
I mean, the ideas were just so ahead of it. Where like if you weren't leaning forward, you just didn't get it.
The biggest compliment, and like Josh has heard this at NAX last week, but like one of the only people I still know over at Nutricol, right, was like, Dan's been saying the same shit for 10 years. He just left to go actually do it because no one would listen to him, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I think when you like what you like, and you kind of believe in what you believe, and you have like that vision, you gotta stick to it.
Dude, it was like
It's a team sport, right? Because she'll do something, and I'm like, okay, but let's try this, and then she'll do that, and then I'll be like, wait, she'll be like, no, let's do this, and then like after going back and forth for 5, 6, 7, 10 times, you get to this place, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't want you working with anyone else because now you know how I think.
Yeah.
You know? Well, you guys also did a lot your other big accounts, especially early, you kind of were bringing in business that was already existing. So it was just So
you guys were true MP. I think that's the thing about Ghost is like, still to the day, it's true. It takes the longest to actually make a product go. But
That's how it
like,
should be.
we've never, I cannot remember a formula we've done like that didn't launch or didn't go. Where everybody else, it's like, you know.
Sometimes it takes a year or two, like based on other things happening and like, you know, when we actually wanted to come to market. So,
but it's cool though. It's like we've never wasted an ounce of like time on like all that form. Just you know, companies that throw formula.
now, like, from a collab perspective, now collabs call us.
Yeah.
I had like 3-4 meetings the last couple weeks where it's like, I kind of don't want to blow them off because they're a cool brand. I just don't know if it's a fit for us. We'll see.
You guys have patience though too, which is crazy. Like,
There's a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Most days.
Well, now you have, history in it that you can translate that patience and how it works. Like,
I
where
think it was
most
very
people
quickly, but like
in our space is like speed, where they always want to be first, but they don't realize that that doesn't like guarantee them to be like the main person.
They
Or
could have
the,
grown a lot faster if they wanted to. It would have diluted the brand probably in some levels, right? Some of the brands would like. That's why.
It's definitely takes, I think, some restraint to say
no sometimes.
To say no. But we've said no to more POs than we said yes to over the years. You've heard me and Ryan talk about that a lot. But like, it's also, I don't know, it's a different kind of confidence required there. But then it also feels really nice to go to bed every night with like 10 levers under your pillow. That like, okay, if we need to like, you know, take this thing to the next level, or we need cash, I can pull this lever, do this thing, like, you know. So there's not really a rush. I don't know why people are in such a rush of like.
well, the rush is because they're not capitalized right and they don't have a vision, so then they have to try to sell things as quick as possible and add SKUs as quick as possible because they think that's the only way to grow, and that's the problem with a lot of this stuff.
We weren't capitalized well at all initially.
No, but you had a vision in terms
we
of like,
just had very small. We've always right-sized the expenditures to the capital. Or that's the thing, like, we didn't launch with all this. I see some people talking in the space about like, you know, needing this. I'm like, we didn't have any of that. We just didn't try to do all those things. We just started very focused.
Our products.
Yeah, it's like anything in life. You kind of like catch lightning in a bottle. Like try to just like this little, and then grow it from there. But if you try to like kind of go everywhere all at once, you're never going to do a great job everywhere. Even now, we don't have the people for that or the resources for that. You know. But
It's hard though. There's not many non-owners who are game changers, really though. There's good contributors, but like.
I think you change the game if you set out to just. You can't set out to change the game if you're going to change the game. You just need to set out to do you and hope you have a unique vision and most importantly go execute it. And like in the rear view 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever years later, you'd be like, oh man, we actually did something here. You know, but you can't set out to change the game and expect anything good to happen. My 2 cents.
like you don't vertically integrate if it's readily available and easy to produce in the market through contract manufacturing, because it's just easier to have the flexibility to do it. Like if there's some uniqueness or something that's you're going to
I think
get
what
like,
you're saying, doing small runs,
like that kind of thing, or there's a capacity issue in the system.
You know, it's actually now becoming a major thorn in my side because, you know, we're the number 3 energy brand this year at Kroger, which I think that's saying a lot. Cause it's a pretty level playing field. You know, C-stores is not really a level playing field, but like, you know, it's kind of getting grocery stores. Mm-hmm. Number 3 energy brand behind Red Bull and Monster, and then they're like, why can't we buy your protein RTDs?
It's not necessarily product, but that's your opportunity.
Look what I'm saying.
Yeah, no,
I can't. I have. It's like I see a massive hole that we can just crush.
The problem is there's no slack in the market to get available product. You need product.
So,
A lot of energy here. A lot of energy. I might not be full of energy, but there's a lot of energy here.
it's here if you need it.
I know.
Obviously a lot of floor space because we just have cans coming in and out all the time. So depending on like what day you're here, even all this will be like double stacked pallets of Ghost energy. That's like what all this is here, just like staging for.
Is it crazy like when you go from like LTL to like FTL, where it's like there's all of a sudden like you're shipping out 7 trucks at once.
Yeah.
It's like crazy, like the space. You know.
Yeah, so you kind of learn quickly, like especially with beverage you want. But this is like, you know, speed racks for direct to consumer. We do about like 30% of our direct to consumer out here. The rest is coming out of Spring Hill, out of the Nashville area. So.
Did
been in that place since they're set up.
Hey, how's it going, y'all?
How you doing?
Chilling, how are y'all?
What's up, man?
What's up? Chilling, how are you?
Why we have extra apparel here sometimes it doesn't get sold, I don't know, because it's all safety stock. Everyone sees it in the videos like, wait, I was looking for that piece, like what the hell? I'm like, I started a concept called the Grail Sale, which is like kind of like a warehouse cleaning sale. It's like all the random, like when you have like 1 or 2 sizes or something left, like to kind of at the end of the year. It's pretty cool, but this is like the emptiest you'll see this year. So I think we just had staged all the beverage orders for when we were young, and it probably went out today for like the big festivals in town this weekend. So I think that those probably all went out.
Home sweet home.
Oh wow, look at that. Like,
What?
Reads you.
Does.
Wow, that's way too fancy for me.
I gotta get out of here. I'm from Lancaster.
We're not in Ohio anymore.
No, we are not. All right, Josh, where are we at? What's the plan? What's going on here?
Right now, we're at Aria in my room. Today was a little bit choppy. I think we're getting the hang of trying to storytell through the vlog. There was also just like a hectic day where we were kind of meeting here, there, whatever. A lot of the stuff maybe was not able to be shown, or maybe it was not able to be kind of captured completely. So we're probably gonna do a little work, maybe grab some food. Tomorrow we're gonna get up. Maybe I'm gonna get up early and work out with Brent. He wants to kind of get out there at like 5:15 or something crazy before I normally ever wake up. And then we're gonna go out to Salt Lake City to check out his brand new spanking clean facility, which he's pretty proud of and I think is pretty cool looking. So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna do kind of a day in the life. We're gonna be checking all those types of things out. And then we'll go from there. But you know, apologize if this wasn't as clean of a storytelling as we'd like. We'll get better, I promise.
Yep, big things coming soon. Right?
Yeah, big things.
You hate that. You hate
I hate big things coming soon, but hopefully I can at least give you guys a little bit more of like my, I wouldn't say day to day because you guys would be bored with that, but hopefully some more of these trips you guys can see a little bit behind the scenes. I know that's always been something that I've wanted to do and wanted to like show you guys a little bit of the industry from a different perspective, you know, kind of the behind the scenes or like behind the curtain type of a situation. So hopefully I can achieve a little bit of that now that I got a camera guy.
Welcome to my crib.
bulk line for pre-mix product, so energy drink product.
There you go, you can little ghost right here.
25 kgs in a box.
So yeah, this is pre-mix.
I would say for people that don't understand pre-mix, like for energy drinks, I think that's like a confusing.
This is a plug for the Armada Solutions thing too. It's perfect. So one thing that's been nice about our business as we've evolved, we obviously are a contract manufacturer. Typically we're running bottles like you saw over there, and that is the name of the game. Over the last 3-4 years, we've really grown to go after a lot of pre-mix business, really specific to the energy drink market. It's growing, and basically a lot of them have active ingredients in there. So if you look at a panel of like a Ghost or even a C4, they have a lot of sports nutrition ingredients in there versus just like caffeine flavored water, right?
Yeah, you have like, I think with C4 or like Smart Energy, you have like Cognizant or whatever. You know,
and then
like,
I mean Ghost has like an active of carnitine, carnitine, they got estrogen, they got neurofactor, things like that. So regardless, we love blending powder. The bottlers in this space, they just want to drop powder in solution, and they have extremely high speed lines. We've seen them go 1,000, 1,500 cans per minute. They don't want to stop. So we'll do the blending, we'll do the powder, we'll drop it off. They'll basically just drop this in solution and run.
You know, final inspection process, X-ray, standardize all the lines. One of the biggest X-rays you can buy in the industry. So yeah, it's, you can fit a person through there. We don't, but that's what we
Let's actually put Josh
we stress that, right? You know,
I think the serendipitous
slash sometimes a little bit of luck happens in business where like partners or things come up where, you know, they weren't in the plan, but now that you look back, if you can't understand how it could be any other way. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
I think that's the good thing about it. And what you kind of mentioned around, you know, if it's 2020 or 2021 or even now or even the next couple of years, like when you are in a position of kind of strength or whatever, and there's blood in the streets, they say this is the best time to go hunt.
Yeah,
like, you know what
you're
I mean?
100% right. But like, you know, cash is going to be king in 2023, and I think we're set up financially to help support our customers, and the big guys are going to realize that, and I think start to understand that even more. So I think it's an offensive mode in 2023 versus sit back and play defense.
Yeah, because I think anything from like a vendor standpoint, if you are feeling like you have an opportunity and you want to be able to grab it during 2023, you also have to think about who are your partners and if they're going to be able to actually, I don't want to say stay in business, but be able to, you know, support your growth. And if they can, or you're questioning that a little bit, you have to go with people that you think are going to be in a position that can fuel your growth, which, like you said, this all kind of feeds into that, because I think
then they want the same in return, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones being aggressive and bullish on what they're going to do, but then they want to work with people who they know are going to line up.
You don't want to hear like, oh, we can only run so much because we're not going to tell you why, but it's because we really can't handle buying extra material, or we can't because it's hurting our bottom line. And like, they need to be with partners that are in a strength position that can actually say, hey, wherever you want to grow with this, we're with you.
100%. But you said something too that's interesting, is like in contract manufacturing, and we keep evolving and getting better at this, especially from where we were day one. But like, you know, you're only as good as your customers in a lot of reality, right? So vetting, being strategic, talking to even people like you to understand, like, you know, data and trends and kind of like, are we thinking the right things, right? That all matters, because like you spend so much time on these brands. If you're not betting on the right ones, you know, you could be great. You could be a great manufacturer. You could be very innovative. But if you just have the wrong 5 brands and their business plan's not good, 2023 is going to be a bad year for you. So it's interesting. You don't really fully control your destiny in contract manufacturing, but you do, because you actually vet, you build those relationships, and you need to understand. And that's why I love like talking to you. Is like, I think some contract manufacturers maybe don't get into the weeds about understanding brands and influencers and all that. Like, it's a huge piece of like what we're gonna do, right?
I mean, when we talk about, you know, who you guys work with or who you want to work with, a lot of times we're talking about what's their channel mix, what's their product mix, what are they doing in the market, because diversification is not just, you know, customer number, it's also how do those customers operate in the environment, how are they dealing with the competitive environment, because all that matters when, you know, even like something we talked a lot during like 2020 when like the shit hit the fan and like things just shut off, went to zero, and it was like, sometimes you need to understand, okay, a deeper kind of you know, understand what are my customers doing. Maybe you're putting still orders in, but like, are they actually just trying to run through a wall, or are they being strategic and understanding that there's things ahead of them that they're going to have to get around and they're going to have to figure out. And I think, like you mentioned, I don't think a lot of the supply side necessarily goes through that process, and that, for me, at least as a strategist, I think of that as like, that's huge risk layers.
Because and it's also, it's that, and I find that part so fascinating and interesting. Yeah, it's just those things that we're always, we've missed, oh man, I look at 16 and 17. I had some Sammy Sosa numbers at times, you know, hit a couple home runs, but man, I struck out quite a few times too. So, but the market's evolved a lot too, right? Like, since we've even started talking, it's like, you look at the last 5 years, how a brand exists and how they go to market, so different.
But that's for the people that understand it though, because I think that, you know, I talk to a wide variety of people on a day-to-day basis, and there's a really big, I guess, difference between the ones that get what's happening, like the evolution, and then the ones that are still stuck in, I call it like the dinosaur age. Like they're
still, print ad.
They're still stuck. Like, it's all going to come back to us. Like the dinosaurs are going to come back in life. It's like, no, they're done. They're done.
Like if their business plan is, well, we're going to put it in muscular development. No offense to muscular development.
You're not going to get a spread in muscular development.
It's not a very good business plan, right? So
you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Best strategy ever, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't do that. It's already created. Day 3, still in Salt Lake City. We're actually gonna be visiting somebody new, somebody I haven't met before, the owner and the founder of BlackMarket Labs. I got introduced to him by an industry friend, Shane Howell. I've known Shane for like a long time, actually, from Salt Lake City. He was on the co-man contract manufacturing side. Now I think he's one of the leadership members at Sensapure, a flavor company. So he introduced me. He's like, hey, you gotta meet Bryson. So we're gonna actually head over to their headquarters, their office, and it'll be good.
So over on this side is game. This is like, I was a gamer my whole life. I wish I would have launched this when Gamma Labs actually was the first. Yeah. And I saw that like 10 years ago when I was working at my nutrition store. Jealous ever since. They switched over to G Fuel. I never had time to go after it, but I'm actually a closet gamer. And when I was telling you about the parents getting a divorce, that's all I did was game. And then I had LAN parties and all my friends over. So I should have started with the gaming. Yeah. Technically, that's like my DNA. But I'm late to the race, just like I was in the supplement industry. It's okay. Very late, so we're coming in late, but we're gonna make noise. But yeah, there's 8 flavors. They're now on Amazon. They're all on the website. So instead of them being goal focused, this one's more of your mental. So it gets you better reaction times. It's more like an Adderall fill. You know we can't sell Adderall, but it makes you feel really good.
I think the good things about, I always talk about, you know, the esports or the gaming market. 1, authenticity. 2, the category is super important. How you just kind of said your story of why that is so interesting, or why you were compelled to create that, was something way before you even created supplements or had, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then secondly, you were deep enough in the world that you knew that Gamma Labs was something before G Fuel, where most people, they didn't even know that that was like really a pre-workout sports nutrition brand that they changed over. So it's like that kind of stuff is super important in that space, I think, because most people are, you know, slap a label on a pre-workout and they go, this is what we're going to do, and don't really care about the community, don't care about supporting the community, don't care about, and that's super important, as you know, as a gamer. I think they really care about supporting their own.
Yes. Absolutely. Like, we were 20 years late to the supplement industry, we're 10 years late to the gaming industry, but maybe we just love that underdog approach, you know? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I would do it if I could, if I had that brand. I definitely think that there's brands out there like Rise and Ghost that are just crushing that, and my hat's off to them.
I think the next iteration, though, kind of talking about, you know, taking another level or inventiveness or whatever, is not necessarily looking at it from how everybody else is looking at licensing and saying, you know, kind of how you do with the shirts with like the artists and everything. Okay, how do we kind of take the underdog approach and create relationships and licenses with stories that we can amplify together, that maybe is not Chips Ahoy, maybe it's not Sour Patch Kids, but maybe it's like a super cool, you know, female-owned coffee company that's in Salt Lake City that us together can story tell like nobody else, and we create a unique product for our audience. Yeah, maybe it won't sell millions of units, but it's going to sell very strong 30K units, and like that supported them. Okay, we move on to the next one. We can move on to the next one. It just amplifies and builds your brand up stronger. Most people are looking at it as like, how do I go whale hunting?
Yes.
Instead of, how do we make this work for us?
Funny, me and Heman have been working on this brand. It's called Infantry, which is for infants. That's why we picked the name Infantry. We got the name done and registered, but we're gonna do themed. So like that's the company logos, and then we're gonna put a character to go with it. But our whole point is to give back to the, like if it's literally like if there's the military, this is like the baby army, and this is the army that gives back to the less fortunate babies.
So maybe this is the bad connection, but this is how I'm making sense of it, is like Paw Patrol. Yeah, I was thinking like Paw Patrol, where like you take these characters and build a whole universe around them.
That's literally what I was, that's so funny. I want to make a little children's book to go into the orders. When they order one of the shirts, they get stickers, they get a shirt, 2 shirts, a little comic book.
Because the IP really is the
is the characters.
Yes.
And the development of the characters into this, the Disney idea of like, how do you develop these characters into multimedia and all these things, like where do they go? There's a really good, I don't know if you've ever listened to it, How I Built This. It's a podcast. It's an NPR.
How I Built This?
Yeah, How I Built This. It's like one of the top rated podcasts, but they did a show with the guy that created Paw Patrol, and he discusses like how he thought of that whole thing and how he built it up, and then they ended up selling it or whatever. But it was really, for me, it was like, dang, that's like, I took that and I kind of like chewed it up, and I was like, man, the IP, this is where it's going. Like, even if it's not necessarily kid stuff, we were talking about like wherever maybe NFTs go or any of these types of things, all that kind of stuff like is important. Like the IP world of kind of the multimedia, where can it take it? Where can these characters go? What's the development of those characters? I find that stuff interesting. I mean, it's a little bit outside of like my world, but it's like anything that's like adjacent enough, I try to like chew on it and like see if it's useful where I'm at.
Hot off the press.
Oh, I like it. See,
undefeated.
Trust my gut.
Undisputed, undefeated.
Trust my gut.
Send any glide.
That's a one-off.
Sling them
that's
down.
a 1 of 1 because that's going to be on red. So that's a 1 of 1.
That is technically a 1 of 1.
My clout
went
way up. And if you ask my wife, I'm not cool at all, and I have no clout. So then this, I think, elevated me at least, I don't know, 7 levels, I think.
You gotta treat it like gold. It's gold, member. Damn. It's not perfect, it pisses me off. I get upset!